There we go. Beautiful. So, as you guys have already heard, I came here to share a little bit of spoken word with you. And the thing is that in this very trying moment, it is important that authenticity is the most clear through line to everything that we're doing. Because if we are not being authentic with our youth about the truths and the trials they're facing, then they will never understand the grace or the power that they have. That they are willing and capable of changing the world simply if they are willing to tap into their own mind. So when I say authenticity, I'm also reflecting on the fact that I will be sharing words with you that I have written in the last 48 hours. And so I'm asking for a little bit of grace as I share that piece with you. Okay? On Saturday, July 13th, 2013, I was at the movies with a few of my friends in Hartford, Connecticut. I was watching The Heat, which, if you don't know, is a kind of a buddy cop movie starring Sandra Bullock and Melissa McCarthy. I liked it. It was pretty funny. But in the third act of the movie, while I'm watching it, the flash of my phone screen blasted me out of the mild amusement I was enjoying to see a CNN banner proclaim that George Zimmerman had been acquitted on all counts of second-degree murder in the killing of young Trayvon Martin. Immediately, silver screen humor became social media horror, as 18 months of my own speculation became the grim confirmation that even in the midst of the historic re-election of America's first black president, the justice system was still going to operate as a negligent guardian to its black children. I'm still sitting in that movie theater seat, the film now forgotten, and I'm scrolling on Facebook for responses until I see this. George Zimmerman was a pussy for only shooting once. He should have unloaded the whole clip. These are words that someone I didn't know wrote on Facebook in response to a heated but healthy debate about the state of the American justice system. I was enraged but exasperated. So instead I screenshot, captured his words and put them on display so that the court of public opinion could cross-examine his intent. Upon realization, he deleted the entire post and his previous statements and swore it was just a joke. A joke. Because perforating the wings of a young Black Icarus before he's even taken flight with a bullet isn't enough of a death sentence. So let's punctuate his remains for the sake of a punchline without a probable cause. Ain't it funny? That at the moment that I became aware of George Zimmerman's release, I'm watching The Heat on the big screen, sitting in a dark room while two white women, one FBI, one Boston PD, are gleefully flaunting America's infatuation with super cops, flouting police codes of conduct to dispense their own witty, brash, and at times arrogant brand of vigilante justice upon the masses. Now, I'm not mad at the film. It's just that the irony of that moment had struck me. But to be fair, at least it was two women. So that's a strike against the patriarchy, right? Ain't it funny? How easily social media can choke you to death with the unsolicited aggression of poisonous voices convinced that it is in the pattern of my Black body's genes, or a satanic death cult scheme to murder my kinfolk, and not the threads of an insidious destiny manifesting itself as an invalidation of my dignity and very right to live. Ain't it funny? How a dead Black boy can take a Caltech PF9, a 9mm handgun that would sell for $350 new, and increase its value to $250,000 simply because it was stained in the blood of a Black boy. And somehow, when we say Black Lives Matter, they're still confused. But I realize it is not because black lives don't matter to them. It is because that black bodies matter to them. Ain't it funny how yesterday was 65 years to the day from when Emmett Till had his murderers acquitted, only to hear that Breonna Taylor's death didn't even warrant a trial. Decades later, America still won't give black women their due. Ain't it funny? It must be. All the greats say that comedy is simply tragedy plus time. So why aren't you laughing yet? If those who don't study history are doomed to repeat it, and the irony isn't lost on you that even when our textbooks are devoid of the innumerable stories of racism accosting us, our bodies keep the score. That is what trauma teaches you. So why aren't you laughing yet? Every day feels like we're marching down gas-lit streets with Punxsutawney Phil still too scared to bear witness to the depths of his own shadowy misdeeds. So he keeps telling us 4 more years of nuclear winter until you're actually free. So why aren't you laughing yet? Is it because you, like our ancestors, knew long before this pandemic struck that wearing a mask was the best line of defense against the virulence of white supremacy plaguing our country? Is it because you know that there is nothing more dangerous than the idea of the truth told in humor? Is it because you know that laughter is a trigger reaction to fear that will have you killing like Banty and Ed while your arm is led and fire is licking at your wounds? Is it because you're so irate about the ways they've been lying on our kings that you are stuttering and sputtering and licking your guttural scars in your head? Or is it because you are here now to witness the most extraordinary moment of digital nomads weaving music and movement to unravel the illusion that Black Lives Matter is a revolution for only black people? But it is actually for all people, for the planet, and for the future. It must be because you know the jokes on men, and they just haven't realized it yet. Thank you. I have one more piece if we have time.